All right, folks, yet another unpredictable night of Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship. We're at Quest Field in Seattle. He's Jim Holley. I'm Jason Weigandt, here to wrap up a truly unpredictable night of racing. Who would have thought? James Stewart, Chad Reed, all the focus on them, but in the end, they're all upset by the rookie from Washington, Ryan Villopoto, coming home with his first ever Monster Energy AMA Supercross victory.
Yeah, what a great win for Ryan Villopoto, especially, you know, him battling that illness, changing trainers midstream through the season, drops Randy Lawrence, but he's on good terms with him and hires Jeff Spencer, you know, and like we said, you know, with that illness and battling back, this was, yeah, he hasn't raced the last 3 rounds of Supercross. He had Easter off. I mean, that's a month without racing. Comes back here and wins it and finds itself battling with Michael Essie. Michael Essie up there loses the front end, but, you know, who'd have thought that James Stewart would have finished second tonight and Chad Reed with that disappointing 7th, but not disappointing. I mean, that was a great ride for Chad Reed. If you make sure you check out that broadcast tomorrow on CBS, he went down hard in that first turn, and to get back up and finish 7th and keep it honest. He did lose the point lead. James Stewart has a 3-point lead with 2 rounds to go, but Chad Reed always says you got to be in it to win it, and he got back up and he was in it, but unfortunately lost the point lead tonight. And how about Davey Millsap's? He comes away with his 3rd podium of the year, and his philosophy is just, you know, I want to have fun out there, and he had fun. And anytime you're on the podium, you're having fun. I think those new motors for Honda are working well, but you know, what a great night for the Monster Energy Kawasaki team with you know, Ryan Villopoto scoring his first you know, win. And who would have thought at the beginning of the season we saw, you know, rookies now. You know, we talk about Josh Grant getting his first win as a rookie. Ryan Villopoto has a win as a rookie. We haven't seen that happen in a long time. You got to go back to 1993 when Jeremy McGrath was a rookie and he won his first race when they came out to Anaheim 1. And he went on to win that championship. But you know, he needed that for his confidence going in the outdoors. I think that Villopoto, you know, I think you're going to see him on the podium these next 2 rounds of Supercross. And you know, what do you say about Ryan Dungey? The man comes away with his 2nd win in a row here in Seattle. Now he takes a 9-point lead going into the final round next weekend in Salt Lake City there. Morris, another 2nd for Ryan Morris. He's probably got more seconds than anybody in the history of Supercross and then that lights class. And you know, what about Trey Kennard? He put in a great effort. He had some problems in the heat race, losing the front end. He also lost the front end in that main event. Weimer, unfortunately, got buried in the back of the pack in the start. And this was a track tonight that it was a lot of sand, a lot of ruts. It was very hard to pass, and comes away with that 4th place finish. But, you know, anything can happen like we saw in the Supercross class here tonight. Who would have thought that Ryan Villopoto coming back would have won? So, I mean, it's not over for Ryan Dungey and Weimer as well as Morris. Those 3 guys are taking it to Salt Lake City next week. But the guy who's got the advantage is Ryan Dungey with that 9-point lead.
Let's touch on Salt Lake City real quick here. We had Ricky Carmichael on our show 2 weeks ago, last time we raced in Jacksonville, and he thought Salt Lake City could be the pivotal race in this championship because of the elevation. And you never know about the weather there also in an open stadium at high elevation. We could have snow for all we know. So you never know what might happen there in Salt Lake City, just like you never know here in Seattle. Well,
here's the thing about it. You know, that was in Jacksonville a couple weeks ago when James Stewart was down a lot of points. James Stewart's got the point lead now going in there, so he can afford to finish 2nd behind Chad Reed. Let Chad Reed win and be tied going into Vegas. How nice would that be? Both guys tied, winner take all in Las Vegas. So, I mean, you know, Larry Brooks and that Sam Manuel team, they've been to, you know, Salt Lake City before. They, you know, and we're talking about the carburation settings. The Yamaha traditional carburetor, we got to jet it in. The Suzuki fuel injected along with the Kawasaki and the Honda this year. They seem to carburate a little bit better. But I know Larry Brooks and all those guys have been there. They're going back to their notes, you know, in higher elevations. And, you know, I think if I'm Larry Brooks, I guarantee you they got a motorcycle there right now, and they're probably going to start testing tomorrow and making sure they have a good close setting for James Stewart when he goes out for that first practice session on Saturday next week.
All right, well, we'll be there, and we hope you're there to join us in person. And if not, right here on supercrossonline.com, of course, we'll have the coverage. That's a wrap. From Seattle, he's Jim. I'm Jason. We'll see you next week.